What's poppin', yo? We got a new candidate for the worst rapper of the year, and this makes me so happy. So this guy's name is Too Slimy, and he's just been on an ascent lately. Now, the first time I discovered this guy was via an Underground Sounds cipher. So if you guys haven't seen it, Underground Sound, there were like 3 different ciphers. I kind of got multiple freshman lists now from multiple different platforms, and you also have the Spotify list, which I think is really, really great for music discovery, and it captures several different subgenres, subcultures within rap now, because the genre is just so big and it's just so wide musically that it needed something like this. So he had one of the worst ciphers, but one of the ciphers that got the most attention. And I quote tweeted this and I said, people are going to successfully hate another rapper into success, and I'm so happy to see it. Now, do I like this guy's music? Because I think some people that follow me on X think I enjoy this guy's music. Absolutely not. I think he's terrible. But does that mean I want him to fail? Absolutely not. I want him to succeed more than anybody else, to be honest. And frankly, by the amount of conversation that people are generating around him, and the amount of energy that they're giving, and the amount of replies that they have to all of his stuff, and the amount of engagement that they give it, you guys want him to succeed as well. And I've just seen this happen so many times. It's just an inevitability that when you hate somebody this hard, they will succeed. Lil Pump was partially blew up because of this. Lil Yachty, I would say maybe not so much. Lil Yachty kind of already blew up before he started getting a lot of hate. People loved Lil Yachty. You know, at least like there wasn't a split of who likes him and who does like him. In the beginning, like the people that knew Yachty, like SoundCloud, people that were following that, they were like, yo, this is really catchy. This is great. It wasn't until he hit mainstream or got close to that people were like, what the hell is this garbage? And it just hit the wrong audience. But this guy, he is hated down the line, including people that listen to this type of music. Now, when it comes to this guy, I realized that he had been on a Plaqueboy Max stream in December. He's of Mexican descent, and he explained how he got that name.
They said, how you get the name Too Slimy?
Too slimy. I ain't gonna hold you. I did have like a big friend group growing up. I had to cut some people off, so I didn't get too slimy. And you get what I'm saying?
That's how you got your name, because you cut off your bros and then you...
Nah, I had a big friend group. Some weren't even my bros for real. You feel me? Like,
That's how it be though. On some high school.
yeah, also high school. They was just
Like
sticking
20
around.
niggas in the friend group.
Yeah.
Yup. Y'all in the group chat?
Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah, we decided to cut them off. Like,
So you cut all of them off.
damn near, cause like, you know, they knew I was rapping. It wasn't supporting. They thought I was gonna get nowhere. They thought this shit was temporary. Like,
Word.
get out of here. Cause like really, bro, your own homies don't even support you for real. But I narrowed it down to like 3 people.
Okay.
Like the real.
And you still
gang.
cool with them, but
Yeah.
but you ain't really. It's not really slimy though, cause they wasn't supporting you.
I mean, hey, they had empty promises. If that makes sense.
Word.
So this was interesting because I don't know how Plaqueboy Max did a whole stream with this guy. He did an In the Booth with him in December. Like Plaqueboy Max is plugged in, and he would end up having him on his Song Wars that he would invite a lot of other people to. So in this Song Wars, it was I'm Dante, it was Academics, it was Bruce Drop 'Em Off, who Bruce Drop 'Em Off does not like this guy. It was Southside, the legendary producer, 808 Mafia, and I think some other people. And they all judge songs. I think this is one of the greatest contributions still to underground music, to rap. There is no other platform that's this bad. Plaqueboy Max doesn't have to do this, and he still does it. That's why I have so much respect for the guy doing stuff like this. But he's jamming out to the song. Everybody else hated it. I think they said it got the worst rating ever. It got like a 7 out of 60. And of course, this bumps things up again. This is another moment that he had after his previous viral moment with the underground, and that was more underground viral. Now you have reactions from Southside, Academics, all these other people. Dante, this is even better for the guy. Because yeah, sure, they could say they loved his music, but them saying they hate it makes it certain that everybody else will start listening to it. So one of the people that reacted to it, because it's like a car crash, you can't look away. One of the people that reacted to it was Stable Ronaldo, former FaZe teammate, stream mate, housemate of Plaqueboy Max, and he had this to say, and Plaqueboy Max did not take it lightly.
Like Max is faking this. There's no way, right? Either he's faking it, getting paid by this label to promote this garbage, because what the am I actually hearing?
Who in chat think I'm getting paid? Y'all think I'm getting paid? If you think I'm getting paid, you a stupid bitch. I'm not gonna lie. Bro, nobody is paying me, gang. Nobody is paying me, bro. I don't know how y'all think that. How can you possibly think that? Nobody is paying me, bro. Like, what the? How can you even think that? How can you think that? Nobody is paying me. I promise you, not a single label is paying me to like their artists' songs, bro. I just don't see Too Slimy yet, bro. Don't listen to it like it's rap. Imagine this is EDM. I'm gonna keep playing.
So Flatboy Max was really insulted that they thought he was paying this guy or that he was getting paid by this guy. And this guy is signed to Listen to the Kids, which is the same record label that Dave Blunt's was signed to or is signed to. So this is an interesting label. It's kind of like a carnival if you think about it. You've got all these. I don't know who else is on there for other than Dave Blunt's. I don't know if they've got any normal acts on their record label. Somebody put me on, but just those two alone, you can tell that they do a pretty good job with, is that Dina girl on there? I did not know that she was on this. That's a chick that has not blown up either, interestingly enough. But yeah, that label is doing a really good job with the people on their team. So my response to the whole fiasco that's been going on is I said, people can clown this guy all they want, but we're not going to forget y'all were pretending to like this. And what I linked was, or what I posted on Twitter was Florida Trap, which was a song by this guy 645AR. So just to describe it to you guys, because I can't play for copyright reasons, for those that have not listened to it, it's this guy that's doing a Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, really high-pitched rendition of Cardi. Now, this happened in the time frame between Die Lit and Whole Lotta Red. There was a lot of anticipation for Whole Lotta Red, and this guy was a complete meme. He was complete garbage. It was trash music. It sucked. And what happened was people convinced themselves to like it. And I've seen this so much. This is a little bit different from people hating somebody into success. I'll give you guys examples of people that were hated into success. But this guy, people were saying like, yo, nah, actually kind of got to listen to it. This kind of hard. It starts off as a meme. It always starts off as a meme or a joke. And then they're like, nah, yo, this is kind of hard. This is kind of tough. Blueface is another one that started off as a meme or a joke. And they blew him up like that. And what's funny is that people still convince themselves that this is hard. So they're lying to themselves. They can't lie to me. I know that this sucks. I know that they think it sucks. And they're still trying to say that it doesn't suck. And you know how I know that it objectively sucks? Well, you can just go to that guy's catalog. I've been following this guy for years. I mean, ever since he blew up, but I've followed his career. And I'm like, okay, how's this guy doing now? How's he doing now? Well, he's got 40,000 monthly listeners right now. So for everybody that replied to this, because this was great bait, because it proves my point, all the replies, all the quote tweets, if this guy, you enjoyed his music and he was compelling and he was entertaining and he had a flow and, you messed with it, then why did you stop listening to his stuff? When was the last album you listened to? Well, the truth is the last project, I don't even think they ever listened to a project, but the last song they probably listened to was years ago. This guy dropped in 2024. He dropped an album. He dropped an album in 2025. It got a grand total of his album in 2024, probably got a grand total of 25,000 streams across all the music. And in 2025, he probably got a grand total of 50,000 streams on an album that recently just dropped, actually, on a year ago. Yeah, March 19th. I was like, wait, hold on. I'm recording this March 18th. So how did that drop? So if you really like this guy, well, you should check out his music. But they don't like this guy. People vote with their actions, not with what they're talking about. So if you're not listening to him, he fell off. I don't know what happened for him to not drop, but he was a gimmick. Then what does that tell you? It tells you that he sucked, that people ironically liked him, and people still convince themselves that it's hard just because they currently like Too Slimy less than they like this guy. But let's continue, because some people tried to compare 645AR to Mario Judah, which I think is insulting. Mario Judah is a talented artist, okay? Like, yeah, he came, number one, Mario Judah blew up before the Cardi stuff. So he had already blown up with Die Very Rough, which sounded nothing like Cardi. And then he had another song. It was the Rockstar remix. So he had Rockstar remix, Die Very Rough. That's what blew up Mario Judah. Then he did the whole Lotta Red saga, where people I think they enjoyed that music, and it was partially a meme as well, because Mario Judah did kind of blow up as a meme, but the music was there. But after the Whole Lotta Red stuff, he took a long break, but he sustained relevance in terms of people listening to his music. You go check out Mario Judah's streams in comparison to 645AR, Mario Judah's got over 450,000 monthly listeners, a 10x of whatever 645AR's got. And he's produced a ton of stuff. He's released a bunch of stuff. He's got a strong fan base. You look at a recent Mario Judah music video and people in there love it. So what did Mario Judah do that was compelling enough and engaging enough for people to still listen to him 5 years later, or damn near 6 years later, but they didn't listen to 645AR? Well, the truth is that Mario Judah was better and they enjoyed his music more. But with the Too Slimy, these guys, the people that like Too Slimy, are only going to be emboldened. They are going to support him even more. They're going to listen to his music more because you hate him. And a good example of this is Ice Spice. So Ice Spice, in the beginning, especially, you just listen to her music, you're like, this sucks. And that's what a lot of people in New York thought, because she originally blew up in the New York scene, like a bunch of these different blogs and New York pages and subgroups where people discuss New York music. It was New York drill at the time, mostly Bronx drill. She's from the Bronx though. So what happened? People start talking about Ice Spice. And even Ice Spice said this, that the only that's why she's so loyal to Riot, despite their relationship fizzling out because they were dating each other at one point, is because Riot was the only producer that was willing to give Ice Spice beats. So all the other producers, they did not want to work with Ice Spice. They're like, this chick sucks, we're not sending her beats. So Riot worked with her and they got a joint deal together. Riot works with her and then people start hating on her. Yo, we cannot let her blow up. She sucks. Oh yeah, she's terrible. We can't let her blow up. Oh no, we cannot let this happen. But they're just talking about her and talking about her and talking about her. And this engagement and continued attention has some people thinking, you know what? And some people are just contrarian. They're like, oh, you know, this is kind of fire. Why are people hating on this? And then eventually she blows up, and then people are angry that she blows up. But the people that are angry at her blowing up were the ones that contributed to her getting sustained attention for free. And that's the same exact thing with Too Slimy. Now, I'm not blaming anybody that's on the Song Wars. Like, they're just doing their thing. They're doing their content. But what I'm talking about is people that are, if you don't like Too Slimy, the best thing you can do, and if you hate Too Slimy and do not want him to succeed, the best thing you can do is not listen to him, is not watch anything that has to do with him, is not engage with anything that talks about him, is not reply, God forbid, reply and talk about how much he sucks. That is the worst thing you can do if you want Too Slimy to fail. And this is the thing. People cannot do that. They can't stop themselves. They have to talk about him. And that is what is going to guarantee his success. This guy's going to be a successful artist. Also, if you look at Too Slimy's music from 5 years ago or so, he was easier to understand. Some people say it's like, it's better, quote unquote, but that didn't work for him 5 years ago. So, and it's what's working for him right now. I don't see the problem here. I do think it's cool though that there's another Mexican artist that's succeeding. I think I like the diversity that we're seeing in Mexican acts as well. Like we had Mexican OT, who's very different musically from Too Slimy, and who else do we got that's a Mexican rapper or artist? Like of course we have the ones that rap in Spanish, or not rap in Spanish, make music in Spanish. Like I think it's corridos. Is that what it's called? The type of music that, he's a really big artist. I can't believe I'm forgetting his name right now. Yeah, Peso Pluma. And he's from Texas, I'm not mistaken. So we're getting a bunch of new artists. I like this. This wouldn't have been possible years ago. He kind of would have just gotten, I wouldn't say blackballed is the right word, but he would have fell under, he just wouldn't have gained motion. Like there's a reason why we didn't see Mexican rappers really take off in the 2010s. There was one that was on the XXL freshman list who was also in the Dope movie, and his name escapes me as well. I think he was on the same list as Ugly God and XXXTentacion. He was on 2017 or 2018, and he had caught a song, but it just didn't pan out too well. Well, I'm enjoying this whole Too Slimy saga. I am enjoying the haters. And this is the thing. They think that everybody is hating on him. So they're like, yo, this guy's never going to make it. He's not going to blow up. He sucks. And everything we see on the internet is people hating on him and saying how much he sucks. Yeah, because the people that are listening to him, they're replying under his posts. They're DMing him and saying like, yo, bro, these people are tripping. Like, you're fire. They're listening to his music actively. They're quiet. So it's the silent majority in that case. Well, no, it's not the silent majority because the majority of people do hate him. It's like an 80-20 split. But if there's an 80-20 split of people that hate you and the total amount of people that are talking about you is 10 million, that means you've got 2 million people that really mess with your music versus, let's say you have a reverse split of 80-20 people, 80 love you, 80% love you, 20% don't mess with your stuff, and it's 100,000. Yeah, well, you've got 80,000 fans versus 2 million. So it doesn't scale the same way. I think that's what a lot of artists fall into. And he just escaped through all of that. Like somebody to get this much attention sustained since December. Now, I do wonder if Plaqueboy Max, I don't know if Plaqueboy Max actually likes this guy's music though. Do I think that he's faking? No. Do I think that he was paid? Absolutely not. You can't pay a figure like Akademiks or Plaqueboy Max enough money for it to make sense for you business-wise as a record label to pretend to like something that they don't like for a long enough period of time. It would just cost too much money. And in this scenario, I think Plaqueboy Max is a little bit contrarian because when you have this mentality of underground and you just need to find the newest stuff and people just they don't understand your taste, that's not mysterious, but like you're a taste maker, you end up convincing yourself to like some garbage. And this is why I really tell you guys, especially if you're a little bit younger, just go on YouTube and look at 645 AR reviews from back then. This is like maybe 6-7 years ago. No pun intended. And also look at Blueface when he first came out. People listening their first reactions to the music, also their reviews of the music. You're going to see in real time people feel like, oh, well, you know, you got to understand. They're convincing themselves. You can watch it. And we're talking big figures that had big accounts at the time. I'm not going to name them because that's just lame. But you're going to see people listen to this and be like, you know, like first listen, this was terrible. But, you know, like you just got to convince yourself. No, it's just garbage. That's okay. So I think with Plaqueboy Max, he's kind of like he's leaning more into it. I think he was kind of like, yo, I kind of see how, you know, people could like this. Me personally, I don't think this is too different than a lot of Cardi clones. So I understand why people probably mess with this, but do I think it's good? Like I said, hell no, this is absolute trash. So I think Plaqueboy Max is half likes this and half finds it ironic, great engagement, and is kind of convincing himself to be a little bit contrarian and messing with it. Because this is great content for him. And this is why people might think he's getting paid, because it works out amazing for everybody. Too Slimy gets more poppin' because he knows the content game and his music is just that polarizing. And Plaqueboy Max, he gets a ton of views every time he works with them. So they're both benefiting off of each other. And that makes a lot more sense than, oh, now this guy's getting paid. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. But if you actually like this guy, can you please let me know? I don't want to hear from people that think he sucks. If you like him, let me know. When did you discover him? And do you think his old stuff is better than his new stuff? Because a lot of the times you might discover somebody and then you find out their old stuff and you're like, damn, dude, this guy back then was way better. I like his music more back then, but it didn't hit for a reason. Maybe it just didn't stick out enough. So yeah, let me know. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm going to see y'all in the next one.